Yes, after an unnecessary and torturous period of careful reflection, the Liberals have been dragged kicking and screaming to the only sensible energy policy position. They have finally abandoned the economically suicidal... Sorry, I'm making myself laugh with my own line. Economically suicidal, scientifically meaningless and politically stupid pursuit of net zero, and by doing that, they have just become electable. To see the large contingent of Conservative Liberals striding into the party room, led by Sarah Henderson, Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price, Andrew Hastie and Angus Taylor, is hopefully a sign of what's to come. The next Liberal Prime Minister is among that group. After the Libs' ill-considered embrace of climate alarmism and self-harm, which saw their primary vote plummet to record lows, they are again prioritising affordability and reliability over emission cuts and the fantasy of a net zero future. The Australian electorate has demonstrated again and again that when given a choice between lower prices or lower emissions, they opt for lower prices every time. I'm old enough to remember Scott Morrison winning the unwinnable election, what some Labor luminaries had dubbed the climate change election in 2019. And Morrison won fighting against green madness. Then he adopted net zero and the coalition lost 2 elections in landslides. The embrace of expensive intermittent power, aka renewable energy, was meant to remove climate change as a political issue, but all it did was hamstring the coalition. It could hardly argue against the reckless climate policies of Labor when he had signed up to the same end goal. You're going to see the usual suspects in the media, academic and activist class rail against this decision. Against all available evidence, they're going to continue to advise the Liberals that their only chance of electoral success is to veer further left. As we saw at the last federal election and successive state elections in Victoria, the electorate has no appetite for smaller liberalism or Labor-light alternatives. Even in Victoria, the Socialist Republic of Victoria, the centre-right only wins when it clearly differentiates from Labor. We saw that with the Voice referendum 2 years ago, and the parallels with the Voice are many. If one were to draw a Venn diagram of yes voters and climate alarmists, it'd be a perfect circle. Like the Voice, the Liberals took far too long to arrive at the only logical position, and they were dragged there by their coalition partners, the Nationals. And like the Voice, they'll have to withstand a concerted, well-funded campaign from the activist class. The mass tantrum has well and truly begun. We played you some examples earlier in the show. And we've got all sorts of doomsday rhetoric that we've come to expect from the left, like this from the Climate Council, whose CEO, Amanda Mackenzie, said, "This is a plan to let climate change rip. It's deadly negligence that would leave Australians facing more fires, floods and heat waves, while hiking up power bills for families. What the coalition is really advocating for is a more dangerous future for Australians, more floods in Taree and Grafton, more fire seasons like Black Summer, and the demise of the Great Barrier Reef." Goodness me, next they'll be claiming dumping net zero will see Christmas cancelled. They're going to intensify their attacks, the hysteria, the scaremongering, because they're scared. They know that when Australian voters have a choice, they do not back green hysteria, not unless they're from some affluent pocket of the country. Now, before I go, I want to bring you a highlight of the week, an encounter that is just delicious and shows why Donald Trump is unlike any politician we've ever seen. Watch this meeting with the Syrian President Ahmed al-Sharaa.
This is men's fragrance. Hold it. Yeah. This is it. It's good. No. It's the best fragrance. Come here, please.
I have more here, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Okay. So what we'll do is just take that, Joe, put it in, and then the other one is for your wife. How many wives?
They're what?
You guys, I never know, right? I never know.
He never knows.
He's the best.
He never knows just how many wives does some jihadi turned politician have. I mean, it's hard to tell.
Fair point.
That's a good point. And spraying him and his team with cologne. Again, It's a moment that had the VP, J.D. Vance, in tears too.
I met the president of Syria, al-Sharaa, in the Oval Office a couple of days ago, and, you know, he asked him, he's like, well, how many wives do you have? and it's just like, oh, what an amazing question.
It's unconventional, but that unique brand of diplomacy has helped Trump secure 8 peace deals in less than a year. As Greg Gutfeld says time and time again, we don't deserve him.